Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a great morning to wake up to. We want to thank you for tuning in. Just a quick announcement. We still have some technical issues, but if you lose a stream, just stay with us. We'll come right back. But welcome to episode 14 of the Sports Cave on #champs.com. It's your boy Juice.
Hey, dog.
And Big Man be back in the house.
Hey, Manny's back. We got a good show for you. We're going to cover some football, of course, some awesome baseball, and the shake-up into college football, man. It's crazy this week. So, good show today. Stay tuned. Y'all get ready.
You're now tuned in to the Sports Cave on #champs.
All right, so welcome to the Sports Cave, the official podcast of real fans. This show streams live on YouTube every Sunday morning at 9:30. We're a little late today, though. Start your morning with us. We interact with our audience. You guys, you can call in. You can chat. We do take phone calls live on the air. If you cannot make the stream this morning, then you know that we're always available on Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. We want you to let you know that we like to subscribe to our community. You can do so by subscribing to or visiting #champs.tv.
All right. And check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and on our Twitter page at The Sports Cave.
Man, what a crazy week in sports this has been.
Yes. Best time of year, buddies.
It's best time of year. We have all major sports going on.
Right on.
You can't complain. There's something to watch every day of the week.
Funtober, man.
Yeah.
Funtober. There you go. I
Awesome.
like that. Funtober.
Yeah, I've been staying up late,
Right.
watching all these games, and not getting much sleep, but it's been awesome.
Hey, it's been
Sports on every day.
every
Big
day.
time.
You can't complain, man. I know the big thing that that's been going on right now is the World Series, but we'll take a little sideline to some games. Thursday night has always given us something good. This Thursday was a little crazy, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's how it was.
it was a little bit of a snooze fest.
I think overall, the Thursday games have been kind of boring, and then when you have a
Well,
good
no,
one.
there's been some a
This
couple
year,
good
this year
ones.
they've been better. But I
been a
think
lot better.
overall, in
Overall.
general, since they started it, I think they've been kind of
Last week
boring.
was a
Yeah.
good game
I think
compared to
one-
this. I mean, this week was kind of like.
we had a
I
couple
think
good
overall
ones in a
this
row.
season it has been good.
It's been
though.
better,
There
yeah.
has been like two that suck, but the rest
Yeah.
of them have been pretty good.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's
But-
short week.
Yeah,
for
there
most
was
of
short
them.
week specials.
For a team to get shut out, though, man, it's
It's pretty rare.
it's
Yeah.
very it doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, I
but
needed at least a score or two from the Dolphins. They ain't helped me out for nothing.
I was in a situation where I had Jay Ajayi start, but thankfully the defense made up more of the points than I
Yeah.
expected.
How many points did Ajayi get? What, 8?
In my non PPR it was like 4.
4. Ouch.
Yeah, I think-
standard.
I
know in
think,
PPR he
almost
got about
5.
8.
Ravens
Yeah.
defense had more points than all Dolphins offensive players.
I know, man, but
believe
shout out to Ravens defense. They played their hearts out. I mean, it's hard to judge them because sometimes they'll let like Jacksonville run all over them, and then there's
Yeah.
other games where they're like, all right, they're Baltimore defense. They're the defense
Yeah.
that we know that you grew up watching. Like,
Guess who dropped that defense?
oh,
FML.
That guy.
FML. Yeah.
this
I
guy?
dropped their defense.
He wasn't watching the sports case.
I was almost. You know what? That's not necessarily a bad move. A lot of people dropped them. A lot of people were very
I
consistent.
think that's probably what was part of it, too,
I was
that made me
about
drop
to,
them.
yeah, I was about to drop them until there wasn't anything else really to choose from in my other league, and so
Right.
I was like, well, I can't get that bad with Miami and Cutler
Right.
out. Thank God I got
Yeah, I
it.
ain't gonna lie. I saw their defense in the waiver wire like a couple weeks ago, and I thought about picking up, and I didn't. And then now I'm like kicking myself in the butt for not picking
Yeah,
them up.
man, they've been pretty good. I mean, they've had some not
and
so good
downs.
games,
Yeah.
right? And Matt Moore had been more serviceable last year,
Cutler.
than Cutler too, especially compared to him. So it wasn't a move that I wanted to make.
I don't
but
think much
regret it
people
big
saw
time.
that coming out to be a 40-0 game.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's,
see that.
that's
Like,
crazy.
for real,
I
for
mean, the
real.
big deal was Flacco going out the way that he did, and with Kiko Alonso hitting him. What do you guys think about the hit? Do you think it was dirty, or do you think it was just a defender doing his job?
I think it was. I mean,
That's-
how do you just stop?
it's
Like,
hard,
let
yeah.
me not hit him up high. Let me
Yeah.
not hit him down low. Like, where do you hit
Yeah.
him? You don't think that when you're going full speed at somebody trying
You
to
can't stop. That
knock 'em
momentum.
out. You
I'm
know what I mean?
defensive minded, and seeing it in the way, in the speed that it was, and he went down pretty late, if you ask me. So I think he was just doing what he had to do. I assume he'll probably get a fine because of the outcome and because of the emphasis on player safety and
Quarterback
concussions and
safety.
everything, quarterback safety. all that stuff. I mean, he's an older vet that's been in the league, won Super Bowls, so everybody knows Joe Flacco, and to see him get knocked out on prime time, that's a big deal too. So,
and as much as it was a good defensive game, that offense was still a little bit lackluster, I think.
Who, Miami?
Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore.
Yeah, it was more of the defense scoring.
I mean, the defense scored like a few. They scored two touchdowns, I think. I mean, it was Joe Flacco. I don't know. Maybe they need something. Maybe they need it. I'm not saying
I
that.
think it's time for another quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think that. I'm not happy that he got hurt. I never wish it upon anybody, but I think they needed that shakeup to let him realize, hey man, we gotta get something done. Like,
yeah, I think the Ravens, they're a good team, but they're lacking a little bit on their offensive line. Their running game's actually pretty good. Alex Collins is looking good. I think he's starting to be
yards.
better than Javorius Allen, but. The
God
thing
Allen
about
didn't
him
get no
that they
points.
don't use him in the passing game for Alex Collins is what hurts him.
Right.
But I think because the
catch.
Ravens have a good defense. I mean, they have the ability, like as far as wide receivers, they got Mike Wallace. Macklin got in on some of the scoring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Macklin's been stepping up a lot more lately.
Yeah, I mean, I drafted Macklin, dropped him, and he was on the waiver wire. I could have picked him up, but like he hasn't been doing nothing either.
Macklin's a boomer bust. He has a few big games and then he has nothing. So it's one, and that's a lot of players this year though. It's very wide open this year with all the teams. Like, there's players that you expect for them to do something, and Macklin being one of them, being at one point considered almost an elite receiver. And I don't know if it's Flacco just can't get him the ball or.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if he misses time and Mallett's able to produce with those weapons that he has, I mean, you would think with the weapons that y'all are naming, I mean, that sounds like an offense that should be doing something.
Should be doing something.
So
they should at least be better than what they are right now.
I know he's getting paid big time.
And we said that we've been saying that about Baltimore all year though.
Yeah,
it's
they're
like,
frustrating.
Y'all got to do something. Like y'all have the weapons there. There's other teams that wishes they had receivers and a line that can block somewhat for the running game. But it was a shutout. I think Miami ended up scoring like 2 points. I think somebody in our league had Miami's defense, Gary. They had 2 points because I think they had a sack or something like that, or I don't know. It was horrible though. So another boring Thursday game. I wish it was better than that, but I can't.
And the one that should have been the boring game is the one that's actually going on right now, Minnesota and Cleveland.
Minnesota and Cleveland, but that's a nail biter.
That's at
so
halftime.
Far, at halftime is 12-13?
13.
Yes, 12-13.
The kicker. What's up with these
Cleveland
kickers,
Browns
though, man? What's up with these kickers missing extra? Like, you have one job. It's to kick a field goal.
Hey, that was the whole point
extra
of it, though.
point.
That was the whole point of making the extra point back. Where it's not just a gimme anymore. You know what I'm saying? It was part of making. It was the NFL's competitive committee that did that, and I think it's made a difference. You know
it's made a difference, but this year we exposed a lot of kickers that are sorry. Like, what is up? With, like, I'm about to go put my cleats on and let's go try out for a team that's.
Hey, I can't do no worse than Aguayo.
Speaking of kickers, I am a little nervous about Mike Nugent being in
a
Dallas
little bit too. I did pick him
make a
up.
difference, and you take extra points for granted. But you can't anymore now that it's at 30 plus yards, 33 yards, I believe.
But I mean, from what was out there.
Yeah, I hear you, but
when I was reading like all the kickers they were looking at, I mean, we ain't had no better choice.
There's really only a few kickers that that are gonna be for sure.
Yeah,
and Dan Bailey was one of them.
At this point in the season, I mean, there's not gonna be much left because people already getting cut and the good options that were out there are already being taken. You know what I mean?
In our league of record, the Chubb Club league, we have -1 points if you miss the extra point.
So
it cost me last week too.
That's a big point that we voted on.
Hey, I'm glad I got Gaskowski in one of my leagues.
Yeah, see, there's only a few kickers in the whole league that you can sit there and say like,
I'm good.
Vinatieri. Yeah, Vinatieri's one of them, and
I have Will Lutz. He's been producing pretty good. The New Orleans
Forbath has been kicking really good. Kyle Forbath.
That's good. Matt.
I had my kicker on bye, so I had to pick. I ended up picking up Nugent.
Yes, we even pay attention to kickers here.
Yes,
we all feel like we could probably kick a few field goals here and there.
I'm about to go hit the field right now and go try out for the Bucks.
Cowboys,
so back to the Minnesota Cleveland game. Surprisingly, Cleveland's hanging in there. Their defense is playing decent.
Cleveland started out with an early touchdown. I know Kaiser's fighting for his job out there. He's been benched and then he's been put back in.
Man, give that guy a shot.
I think give him a chance, right? And roll with what you got. He's the best.
Yeah.
He has the highest upside of all the quarterbacks that they have.
The whole switching them in the middle of the game, like you can't expect a quarterback to gain any continuity if you keep on taking them out. Like, let him stay in.
I would like to see them also like use Duke Johnson a little bit too, man. Like they got playmakers. They got their tight end. The tight end's been catching touchdowns. They just got to get him the ball.
The tight end's one of the most productive ones that have been out there just because they have to throw. Yeah, so it's like just give him a chance. You can't be doing this switching off and on. The team's never gonna get used to the rhythm of it. But shout out to
I agree with that.
The Browns are actually hanging on. I thought they would have get blown out by now.
On the other side, Adam Thielen already has a touchdown for Minnesota.
One of my players.
Thielen's
been steady in non-PPR leagues. He's been lackluster. In PPR leagues, he's been okay. He's one of the most productive receivers in the NFL to date.
He's a good wide receiver 3, I guess.
Yeah, he's a good 3 flex.
Huevos Rancheros for the trade.
Huevos Rancheros. Hey.
That's Carlos Ugo's brother.
Screw that guy. He's up at the top.
Yeah, no, he's cool. He talks a lot of smack.
He does.
I think Minnesota still comes back and wins this game.
Yeah, Minnesota will come back. There's no way Cleveland wins anything.
On the Vikings side of the ball, I picked up Latavius Murray, but I did sit him today because Cleveland's run defense is supposed to be pretty tough. Yeah, so
I didn't have no choice. I had to play him.
You played him, so good luck. Do you know how he's doing so far?
He's got like 3 points.
He's got 3 points.
Yeah, I dropped him. It's just
at the half. So
I need something better.
Bye weeks killed me this week.
Yeah, bye weeks are tough. We got 6 teams on bye.
An injury killed me too.
You got the bye week?
We have Arizona, Green Bay, Jacksonville, New York Giants, LA Rams, and Tennessee Titans on bye.
That's a lot
if
of
you're
teams
in
on
fantasy
bye.
football, then it's definitely hurting, and you definitely have the bye week blues.
Mariota
also.
being out.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Mariota, Fournette, Arizona's weapons, Fitzgerald, Brown, of course. Carson Palmer went down. He's hurt. So
AP's out for you guys that picked him up.
Adrian Peterson's out. Green Bay. So you're missing Jordy Nelson.
Went down, right?
Devontae Adams.
Did he go down?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Carson Palmer.
Yeah, Carson Palmer went down.
Like early, right?
And I played each other. And I lost to Ugo, which is the worst team in the league. You know, when it's the worst team in the league you lose to, you feel really bad.
That fool should feel real bad right now.
I've been feeling pretty bad about that.
Give me some Manula right now.
It's all good. But I'm still the 3-time champ, so it's all good.
3-time champ. He can't lose.
We're resilient, and we're due to win this year. 11, 13, 15, and now hopefully 17.
Probably not. But
that's how we roll.
Hey, you never know. In our league, it's so close from like 3rd place down that anybody can make the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
It's up in there.
Last year,
what is it from
a team that was under, was it like 6 and 7 made the playoffs?
The playoffs. I made the playoffs. I barely got in last year and scooped up the 2nd place. So you never know in our league. It's wide open. It's very competitive.
It's like a Royal Rumble of fantasy football leagues.
Dingo Warrior.
Basically.
Yeah, that's back on track. But yeah, there's a lot of bye weeks. The bye weeks definitely do play a big factor in everyone's game. I know. I think when they were like maybe a week ago, when the first week of byes, Carlos had like everybody on bye on his bench. He had to play everybody that he had. So some people get hit like that. You never know.
Cousin Manny, he pretty much had to switch out his whole team. He had like 3 or 4 starters that were out, and this dude has 2 defenses, 2 kickers.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I mean, defenses maybe,
but kickers
never. So yeah, I mean, if maybe you have a bye week, you have a good kicker, but this dude had him the whole time.
Yeah,
so,
I have in my other league, I have 2 defenses only because one of them is Baltimore, and I kind of played them. But the other one's Tennessee.
Yeah,
but Tennessee has a really easy schedule coming up, so
I
didn't want to drop them.
East, or South. So so that's in there.
I get that.
In my other league, I got 2 defenses right now. I got Houston because they've had some iffy matchups, and so I picked up a defense that had a little better matchup. Yeah. They were out there, so I was like, hey, you know what? They're like one of the hot plays for the week. So
surprisingly enough, the defenses do really play a big factor nowadays, especially this season where everything's up in the air.
Tell me about it. I'm down. Man. I was down 48-0 after the Thursday night game in fantasy.
Ouch. Good luck, buddy.
Just the defense.
Just the defense.
Yeah, we need to look into those.
Lex, we still gonna take the loss somehow, but I don't know how.
Lex, Manny's calling the loss, man. So
England's gonna come back with two more touchdowns second half.
Good luck, buddy.
Against Cleveland, I mean, it's possible, man.
Cleveland Brown, I mean, their defense is okay. Their offense is just really shoots them in the foot.
Their offense is what kills them, man.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Stephon Diggs, I don't know if he's producing today, but I don't know.
Well, he's done like 6 points so far.
Not as much as you would expect against the Browns.
Right.
Like I said, everyone thinks the Browns lose, and it's like play everybody against the Browns, but it really is their offense that's killing the team. It's not really their defense has some pretty decent numbers against the run, some against the pass too. I forgot who I played. Who I had playing against them that was a receiver, and they're like, they're not last in the league in anything really. They're just kind of middle in the road. Their defense is kind of holding them in there, but it's their offense that can't get anything going. Right.
And you would think against that Minnesota defense, that'd be a good play. I'm going against them personally, so you would think, especially the way that Cleveland's been playing and turnover prone, that Minnesota's defense would be awesome.
You would have thought.
I'm still thinking Minnesota takes this one today. Here in a few minutes.
Yeah, I think they're a better team. I think they'll come around, make the adjustments, and it is in going on in London. So we've already talked about it. Yeah. So it takes some adjustments on both sides to get to.
Thank you to the NFL for sending out those reminders that you have a 8:00 game.
Yeah, I didn't have anybody playing on either team.
Me either, but
quick update: Minnesota just got a field goal, so it's 15-13 now.
It's still close though. That's a lot closer than I thought it would be by the time they're playing.
And those London fans love the kickers out there because they're more familiar with football, so they get so happy when someone kicks a field goal. And even the kickoffs, they're crunk. It's pretty awesome to see.
Right.
Yeah. So they're more familiar.
But then they hit each other. Like, why are they hitting each other? Rooney. We got a good game. I think this game coming up that we're about to cover is a really good one for being an early game. Oakland and Buffalo. Yeah, that's two teams that are worth watching regardless. Oakland, of course,
showed last week.
Ooh, man.
They look like the team we expected them to be.
Showed out.
Mario Cooper, thank you.
Cooper finally showed up.
Yes, thank you for coming up. And
I played him the right week because I've been having him on my bench for like 3 weeks straight.
We had the exact same situation in different leagues. Emmanuel Sanders was out. We had started Mario Cooper. It worked out great. I'm glad.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah,
they say.
It was kind of just another thing. He said that, and he posted that. I was like, hey, me too. Like it was the exact same reason. But Oakland, they showed what they could do, man. They
showed why they were a Super Bowl contender. We put them in the Super Bowl.
We did put them in there, and there's a reason.
Now they still have a chance. They're still making my prediction right as far as making the Super Bowl. But
Buffalo's defense,
they have their work cut out for them though.
Buffalo's defense is decent. I ended up rolling with their defense this week in our league, in the Chub League. I kind of had to do. I trust in their defense to put up some numbers, but I didn't trust the Jets defense.
Granted, they are playing in Buffalo
with people like y'all that got two defenses.
Right. Granted, they are playing in Buffalo, and Oakland is traveling all the way across the to the west, to the East Coast, from the West Coast. So that sometimes can be a little bit lagging when you're going that far.
I trust in Oakland, but I know they have their rough patches sometimes too. Still, so.
I mean at the same time, Buffalo's got a good defense. I had picked them up off the waiver wire just to fill in last week. But, I thought they were going to do good against Tampa Bay. They gave up 30 fantasy points to Winston last week, and Winston was coming off a shoulder injury. So I'm hoping Derek Carr can do the same to him.
Yeah, he looked better. The first week he came back from his injury, he wasn't so good. And then last week he had it on.
But I also feel like it could be a trap game. They do have Buffalo favored, which kind of makes me think like why do they have Buffalo favored? So
Buffalo's tough
Fredo.
at home.
Hello.
What up, Fredo? Buffalo's tough at home, man, and the weather's starting to get a little colder. You know what I mean? You got a West Coast team
traveling
going over there. Yeah, Beast Mode's back off of his 1 game suspension.
Beast mode, man, it's hard. Right. It's so hard.
Would you play beast mode?
I don't know. Maybe he got his groove back after tackling or running over high school kids.
I'm on the fence about dropping him, but then you can't because he has that ability to turn out a good game. It's hard to drop someone that has that ability. Like he can change the game at any point.
I mean, you never know, man.
But it's hard to.
He just needs one opportunity in the end zone, and he'll have a good day.
It's just for red zone too.
With Derek Carr, if he can throw like he was throwing last week, that'll open it up more for beast mode too.
I think so too. I think that's a big deal because even before he got hurt, they weren't playing like everybody was expecting him to be able to play.
He would have fit in the scheme had Derek Carr not gone out, and had they been throwing the way he threw this last game, then it definitely opens it up for him. But he's been very, there's a lot of expectation of him.
Oh yeah, they're pretty much one of the front runners to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they're big.
But the thing is that when they start letting him go, he'll have 2 carries and they bring him out for third down. The third down back. The whole committee thing is what's stopping.
They got a couple guys, Jalen Richard and DeAndre Washington. A lot of people picked up when Beast Mode was out. Yeah, they did okay. DeAndre Washington had a big game.
And they're a team that's not scared to throw in the red zone.
Somebody I called out early in the season to be one of the sleepers before the season started, just in case something happened with Beast Mode. In this case, he got suspended. I didn't know that would happen, but you never know if he gets hurt or he doesn't produce.
And then with Oakland being a team that's not scared to throw in the red zone, I mean, you saw that evident from how many times They had like 6 different chances to beat the Chiefs,
Like
and every time they were throwing the ball, you know what I mean? So,
and you know who we look for too, Crabtree.
Yeah, Crabtree.
Yeah,
I got him in my league. I start him over.
Crabtree's that dude, man. He looks for him. Like when it's a big situation, he knows that Crabtree's gonna catch it.
And shout out to Derek Carr throwing the Crabtree that one game. I needed some points, and thank God.
Right. Hey,
I have Jared Cook going today.
I was on the.
I made a trade for Kelsey, and then I ended up dropping one of my tight ends because I needed to drop someone, and it was
a call coming in.
It was Cook, and I regret it. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello. Who is this?
Speak the truth. You on the air?
Yes,
you got Chai.
Don't get scared.
Don't
be Chai.
I'm Chai.
Don't be scared of us.
But yeah,
don't let the knowledge intimidate you.
Right?
If Cook can play like he's been playing, and he's been that productive tight end, he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
Bro, I hope so. I need him to show out.
I'm mad.
The matchup is good against Buffalo.
Yeah,
Manny learned a lesson about how drops work in Yahoo football.
Sucks.
Like when you try to drop somebody and then you try to pick him back up, but you can't until waivers
time.
Well, that's all right because he ain't gonna do nothing.
It's all good. I hope he does, man. I hope he does.
I dropped him, so I can't.
Doesn't.
I was mad that I dropped him, and he went off.
Points, I'll be happy.
He went off a little bit more than Kelsey did that one game. So.
I've had Delaney Walker. He's been struggling, and he's on bye this week. So if he can get 10, I'll be happy.
It varies, man. You don't ever know. But, like, the game that he had, he produced a lot. So
it's going to be the Cooper show all over again.
I hope so.
And what about Buffalo's weapons? How y'all feel about Tyrod Taylor versus Oakland D?
Tyrod Taylor, you know what? I think you can run on Oakland, so I'm looking for Shady to get some points.
Okay, and he can run too, so that's where he gets some of his points too. Like, I mean, he's quietly
Bowman,
one of the most consistent quarterbacks.
Looks like he's going to be a good fit for that defense. Man. First game he was there, he got his first sack already.
Shady's been consistent all year though.
That's awesome. He stepped in and started right away. And was calling plays. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's going to be a good game, man.
I think it's a good game. I'm still going to roll. I want to give the edge out to Oakland and say they're going to win this one just because they've been playing hot. And if they stay that way, it's you roll with the hot hand. So, but Buffalo's still tough. I think it'll be a good game. Buffalo's tough, but I think Oakland takes this one.
Right.
Yeah, I think Oakland takes this one also. I think they got too many weapons, and their defense is pretty good too. So
I think they're going to be they're riding that high off of last week, and they're just going to come in here and just ball out.
Yeah, I think so too. Kind of like our Cowboys, they pretty much played like everyone expected them to.
Yeah.
So I think they got right. I think they're going to continue that.
Another day game is Indy and Cincy. I don't know if I really want to sit down and watch this one.
That one's tough, bro. I got the red rifle going in that game, so I'm excited to see what he can do. The matchup's supposed to be good for him.
But
so I've been holding on to him on my bench.
Keeping it up, like Brissett.
Yeah, they've been staying in games. I mean, they're becoming kind of like the Chargers, I guess. Kind of like
you never know.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the games late. They're not. Yeah, last week was bad.
It was horrible.
But I'm rolling with him.
But this is
AJ
Green,
Joe Mixon. I'm rolling with all my Tyler Kroft. I have Tyler Kroft playing
that was a good
as a bye week fill in for Delaney Walker as well.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he does pretty good too.
Yeah, Cincinnati on the offensive side should look good on this.
All of their weapons. Yeah, I mean.
Watch out, Marvin Lewis. Here comes Manuel.
Even their backups.
Got another call coming in.
Now, you back, caller?
Hello.
Oh, they're getting scared.
Cold feet?
It's okay. Call back. Baby, come back.
I'm not sure what's going on with the calls. I wonder if it's J. Ross from Dubai.
J. Ross from Dubai. Shout out to J. Ross out there.
Is it my boy Stu in
Canada?
Like
7 o'clock in the evening in Dubai. We're worldwide.
We're going international, worldwide.
International, but yeah.
Abu Dhabi, man.
Abu Dhabi, like
normal.
Abu Dhabi.
Prestige worldwide.
This could be a trap game though. I can still see Indy putting up a fight. But Cincy should win this game hands down. I mean, it's their weapons. Their weapons are strong.
By at least 7.
Yeah, Indy's hanging in there with a thread, that by the skin of their teeth. But I think Cincy has the ability to have those big plays against this team. So AJ Green maybe have a showout game.
Oh yeah, he should.
Mixon should get the ball. I don't know why they're even dabbling, just giving someone else the ball. Just let them run. Let them
still got Hill in there lurking. Yeah.
I think rookies have proven
they
themselves.
need to at least trade one of the running backs and just make it a 1-2 punch.
You don't need three.
It'll create a better flow for them and give them a better chance, of being a more productive running team.
Yeah,
because I think with just the three players, neither one of them can ever get their groove.
And that's the same thing we said about Cleveland. You don't give them a chance to be consistent. It's hard for you to get in the rhythm of the game when you're having to have three backs go in. Just let the rookie go.
That's what you got him for. I mean,
there's a reason why you drafted him, man.
Right. Yeah. Why he's cheap too.
Yeah, exactly. Wear him out.
Carries up, right? Yeah, basically. I mean, my bad. I was just gonna say, T.Y. Hilton, is that somebody y'all would start?
I don't know about this week, man.
If your buys, you have to.
Right?
I think I would feel okay starting him
as a 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Well, what's his name? Newman is not Newman, but Jones
Moncrief
is out.
Yeah. So
on the defensive side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, since he's been putting up a lot of points too.
Yeah. So I think that can make a big difference too, man, because he's good, man.
Marlon Mack.
Yeah, Marlon Mack.
I have him on bench
more work,
today.
Man. I had to drop him.
Not against Cincy. Cincy's front four is really great.
Yeah, Cincy's defense is tough.
Marlon Mack's been tough too, man. I picked him up, dropped him, picked him up, dropped him.
I think once they realize that Frank Gore's, they're gonna limit his touches, he gets tired at NCAA, they'll put him in more. But I against Cincy, I'm gonna sit him down. Just not. Yeah. He's not. That's not the right. But I mean, of course, when I get home and we watch the game, we're gonna be wrong. But
what about gentleman Jack Doyle?
Hey, Jack Doyle. I think he's Brissett's safety blanket.
He's somebody you're gonna have to probably start if you have a tight end by.
And tight ends
I think
are
maybe
tough.
like 4 or 7 points.
If you don't have
if
you don't have one of the
catches,
4 top tight ends, then it's one of those things where if you don't have Gronk, Ertz, Kelsey. I mean, you can get away with Brait, and then Doyle is probably the next consistent one because that's just the best option they have sometimes. So, if you don't have anybody else, I think Jack Doyle is a safe start. He'll get you something. I don't think he's going to have a blowout game, but again, every week we say something and we go home and we're talking about each other about we were wrong again.
We'll see what happens, man. Cincinnati's been kind of up and down, but I think they're going to roll today.
We can cut it off on that game.
Yeah, this next one is going to be a good one. The Chargers against the Patriots. LA has been hanging in there, man. They kind of showed out they can still win. They're just making it tougher on the division. Surprisingly, Old Man Rivers keeps everyone in the game. I don't know, man. Again,
their defense is actually pretty tough, man. Yeah, Bosa's a contender for decent.
Bosa showed out last week.
The secondary is awesome.
And New England also, their defense stepped up. I thought, luckily I still won against Adolph, but I put in Matt Ryan thinking all right, 300 yards a game, and they fixed their problems.
Yeah, they held the Falcons to 7 points. So
that was definitely something that they're fixing, and it's the Patriots in every year.
That was a big primetime game, Super Bowl rematch game, and the Falcons everybody thought was going to go out for revenge, and New England defense shut them down. I picked up their defense against Manny this morning. I don't even know if he realized it, but I know he's playing them in another league.
Hello.
So I'm hoping New England's defense.
I was thinking about picking them up.
So they're playing the Chargers. I'm thinking.
I got New England defense.
I know in our Chubb league. I ended up picking them, so I ended up doing the little Kansas City shuffle.
The only thing that stopped me from picking up New England's defense is a running game for the Chargers, man.
Yeah, I don't know, but also Phillip Rivers is good to throw some touchdowns, but you also know he's good to throw some interceptions too.
Some bigs.
So it should be an up and down game. It's going to be a hard game to call. I think it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be a good game.
I mean, you got Tom Brady.
Home, I got New England in this one.
I think their defense has stepped up, and I think Mike Patricia fixed his problems. I think he actually they did some adjustments where they were able to hold the Falcons. I thought the Falcons were going to come and destroy them, just a revenge game, and they actually held them.
Yeah, it was looking bad for him, for Juice Patricia. It looked like he was going to have to maybe get a new job. He might be out there.
He'd be out there with a soccer field
later
on today.
League defense, man, because it was looking bad. But the thing about their defense is they have a lot of new pieces, so it takes time to gel and get those pieces together. And hey, now that the season's getting is going and their offense is good enough to make up for some of those mistakes, you gotta watch out for the Patriots.
I think the defense is going to be
count
key.
them out with Bill Belichick
I think the defense is going to be the key for this game. I'm going to roll with New England because they are at home and that defense has stepped up and they're going also on a high from last week. Mm-hmm. The Chargers, while they do have a running game, like you said, Phillip Rivers can be the factor that messes it up for him. And Bill Belichick isn't going to just have that stigma all year.
He tries to take away your best weapons, known for that.
He's known for that.
I mean, I'm excited to see the Chargers' weapons. I know they have Keenan Allen and they have Tyrell Williams, but there's Mike Williams also. Yeah. They're working him in. I want to see what he looks like. He's one of those guys that was really excited to watch in college. Yeah, so he might be. He's a big play away from making everybody pick him up.
This is a good game to have someone that you're starting.
I think this is a good game for him to show out today. But I mean, I would start all Chargers guys that I have on my team pretty much.
Anybody on this
Melvin Gordon,
yeah.
Austin Eckler, somebody that if you're in a crunch you might have to pick up.
I got Hunter Henry
back. Hunter Henry, there you go. So I mean you got him starting, and then New England, Tom Brady of course, Gronk. Danny Amendola maybe in the flex, wide receiver 3.
He now that Gronk's back, he's been kind of a rough start. But then every week you don't know because Brady will find who he wants that game.
He spreads the ball around,
and he does spread it out.
He's one of the best at spreading the ball around.
It's hard. It's hard. Like I traded Cooks away, and then he goes off, but he hasn't done much other games. But it depends on the week. It's the flavor of the week. Who Brady feels comfortable that game, and then that's who he's going to go to.
Speaking of not doing much, Gillislee, he started off high.
Their running backs are tough to predict too.
Yeah, James White. Yeah, he got a touchdown last week. I had traded him away. Yeah,
they give Deion Lewis more of the ball in the middle of the field. And then the red zone, it's up in the air, man.
I think he's the guy to own right now. Like he's the one that they lean on more in the run game, and he still gets some passes. But then you got Rex Burkhead, who's returning off an injury too, so it's going to clutter that whole backfield more. That's why I got away from it.
The committee's killing the running backs.
That's crazy. And then Belichick, you never
know.
Who
do you got this game?
I got the New England at home. Yeah,
so we agree, New England.
Yeah, I think they're a better team.
Yeah,
they're going to shine.
This next one's pretty decent. Chicago and New Orleans.
Those Bears, man.
Those Bears are surprisingly doing really well.
Yeah,
that defense.
Both defense is keeping them in.
Yeah, New Orleans defense too. They've been pretty good.
They're showing out last week. So I mean, this should be a good game. They are going to be at home, and that does
dome.
The dome.
The dome
in that dome.
Breezy at home.
It's another game.
Cooking. Yeah, he shows out for the home crowd every time. His numbers are way higher and better at home than on the road.
And then their running game, since they traded away Peterson, looks like a different running game.
Yeah. But they're looking better, though.
Ingram's been running
hard.
Has been going crazy on fantasy, too.
Yeah.
I think they're solidifying who their main back is. And New Orleans looks good, man. You can't not root for them when they're at home, though. That's kind of tough. So
yeah.
I'm going to go with New Orleans.
Yeah, and Breezy, he spreads the ball around, too. I mean, you got a lot of weapons. I mean, even Ted Ginn's been stepping up big time. I had to pick him up on the waivers.
One of his best career games.
Yeah, in his last couple of weeks, he's been getting hot. And Michael Thomas is still there. They got Brandon Coleman.
I don't think Chicago's offense can keep up with that offense. I mean, their defense is good, but they can't hold down New Orleans for that long. You can only hold it for so long before they start scoring on you. And the way, like you said, the way New Orleans defense has been stepping up these last couple of weeks, I think they have enough to shut down Chicago's,
Yeah.
But Chicago's surprising. Like I said, man, these guys are playing. Yeah. They're playing.
They've been winning.
They were surprised.
With
they're
the
winning.
rookie quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky hasn't been putting up big numbers.
It's been the defense.
Yeah. He's been the game manager, as they say.
But their running game is good, though.
Jordan Howard, they've been leaning on him a lot. Cohen is there, and he does well, but Howard's dominating the touches.
Howard's getting the rock.
Cohen doesn't need a lot of touches to make his impression, so he still makes up for it in fantasy. He still makes up for it in fantasy football, and I saw Manny picked him up. I dropped him and kind of regret it, but just the way that my team was going, I couldn't count on him, every week. And with buys, I had to pick somebody up. But I mean, he's still somebody that's still pretty good. But Howard's definitely the man in that committee, big time. So I would definitely start him. As far as their other Chicago offensive weapons, maybe Zach Miller. somebody that you might have to start in bye weeks.
Yeah,
that's about
that's
it.
About
though.
It.
The
wide receivers.
No, there's no one there
that over there.
Other than that, I wouldn't really trust them too much.
Yeah, good luck if you have to start one of their guys.
Yeah, better options out there.
There is a lot of.
I know they made a trade for Dontrell Inman. This will be his first week there. I don't know if that's anybody. He's fast, but I don't know how involved he'll be.
It's hard to trust that pass
game.
We'll
know after the day.
Right.
Because if you can't do it on the dome, I don't see him
and you
doing
would think
he'd
probably get the best corner, or not the second best corner from New Orleans. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
Definitely. In the next game, New York Jets, Atlanta at New York Jets.
Atlanta's been rough to
they've been kind of like
judge this year, man.
The Jets have been scoring,
and the Jets.
McCown's been looking like a real quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been solid. Like he's always been a solid backup. But
I did drop the Jets defense just because the ability for Atlanta's running game is like, man, they're gonna score a few touchdowns on the ground.
They need to commit to the running game though.
That's right. You got one of the best running backs in the game.
Two running backs.
I got him in both my leagues for Freeman, and it's like, man, he's frustrating because they won't give him the ball.
Yeah. But even if you don't have Freeman, you can get what's his name?
Coleman.
And I got Coleman as a flex last week, and he got me points. I mean, their running game is solid, and they're not really utilizing that to open up the pass. They just go to Julio. Matt Ryan's just going to Julio. That's his go-to.
Julio finally got his first touchdown.
Yeah, finally. See, exactly. It's like halfway in the season, past a quarter of the season, and they're just now. Matt Ryan, I have him. I drafted him as my first quarterback. But I'm rolling with other quarterbacks. I'm rolling with Wentz.
Yeah, he's having a regression. Some people say maybe Kyle Shanahan missing from their offense. And
that was a big. We talked about that the first episode. That's a big hit that they took. Yeah. That was what they made them.
You said that you didn't believe in Atlanta at that time. And
it's looking like that.
Right. I thought you were crazy.
Yeah, man. But see, like it showed. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets come up and win this game. Like, it really doesn't surprise me. I know Atlanta
they're tough.
Atlanta has some good weapons.
Edging it out because Atlanta, after a loss, always comes back with a pretty good response.
And that was a terrible loss.
It's going to be a tough one, though. It's going to be a tough one. I still got Atlanta winning just because they have a little bit more playmaking abilities with Freeman and Coleman and Julio.
If they run, they can. Even Hooper
I'd start the running backs, but I mean, of course, you can start Julio Jones, but that's the only offensive weapon. Hooper's out there, but
he's not been a solid tight end.
The Jets are more improved than what we thought at the beginning of the season.
I am starting Powell.
Everybody was just writing them off, and right now the AFC East is looking to be a pretty solid division so far with Buffalo, New York.
The Jets are right in the hunt.
They're all in the hunt.
Surprisingly enough, everybody wrote off the Jets before the season even started.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins is looking a lot better over there.
I would start him.
I definitely start him.
Curse. Palau.
Curse is the starter that I have. Bilal Powell. I have him starting too. Especially against Atlanta, they can run.
Forte,
right?
Also.
And that's one of their issues too. It's good problems for them, but it's not good for fantasy owners that they have a committee that can hit you 1, 2, 3.
Forte's a smart back, bro. He's one of my favorite backs to watch. I know he's getting older, but he's still a good back. So he still gets yards every carry. He's physical. He knows how he can catch too if you need him to catch. So he can block.
This is gonna be an interesting game.
He's a joy to watch, man. So
I'm gonna go ahead and call the upset. I'm gonna go with the Jets.
I'm excited to see that game.
I call the Jets. I almost had the upset when they played against New England.
They should have upset.
They should have got him, and I'm gonna roll with them. And I think Atlanta they're just downward spiral from now on.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta in a high scoring game.
I think
they're at least gonna score by 28, 24.
And that's the reason why I dropped the Jets defense, because Atlanta they still have those weapons, and I think I think if they commit to the run today, they're gonna run all over them, and they should commit to the run. But I'll go ahead and call the upset. I'm going to root for the Jets a little bit. And
I still go Atlanta. Like I said, they just got too many weapons on the offense.
Yeah, I like their defense, too. McCown's been good, but I think they're going to get some turnovers from him.
So that brings us...
This is snooze fest here. It should be a snooze fest.
I would hope for an upset on this one, but
Philly and
definitely not happening.
Yeah, it's interesting because Dallas handled San Francisco last week big time. San Francisco's been in their close games.
They lost a lot of games by only 4 points.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good measuring stick. We haven't played Philly yet, so we'll see how Philly handles
Shout
Dallas.
out to Adam. Thanks for tuning in, Adam.
Mr. Cordova, how you doing, bro? Thank you very much. Salute to him.
Yeah.
And his picks and Des Nuts, he's been pretty consistent all year.
He's been up there.
Yeah, he's been up there, man.
Shout out to me, by the way.
Pick him. Yeah,
Second place, Manny.
Second place. And I had it somewhere, but I'll have to check that.
Yeah, we'll get that in a minute. But San Fran has been. They've lost a lot of games by just under 3 points, a few points. But I think Philly's gonna just if the Cowboys manhandled
at Philly too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough road game for them.
Yeah, I see Carson Wentz having a hell of a game this week.
What I like about Philly though is Carson Wentz. Man, they don't. When I think that I was playing, I had him on my bench last week against you, but I was playing against him in my other league.
I told you to start him, by the way. Should have listened. Yeah, because he said Matt Ryan. 300 yards. Should have watched the show, buddy. Should have watched the show.
It's all right. I got the win either way.
It's all good.
But what I like about Philly and Wentz, if anybody owns Wentz, is that they still will throw the ball. It doesn't matter if they're up.
Yeah,
they're gonna throw the ball. That's their go-to. The running game's not there. They have no option. If they're third down, they're gonna throw it. If it's second down and long, they're gonna throw it.
I'm really hoping this one gets out of hand quick.
Yeah, the running game's not.
I got Smallwood. I had no other choice. I had picked him up, off the waiver wire last week. He came back and he was leading the touches at the first half, and then the second half they kind of went away from him, and then Clemens stole a little touchdown from him. But yeah, I think if this one can get out of hand, the running backs will have a good chance of getting a lot of points this week. So.
They should. That's what you imagine they would do. But I still think that Philly likes to throw the ball, man.
Yeah.
When I think Carson Wentz, all right, you're done, stop. I'm playing against you in my league. Don't throw the ball anymore. Another touchdown. These guys like to throw.
Yeah,
that's how they got.
Zeke got to eat a lot against him, so I'm hoping for the same thing from these running backs. So.
Yeah, so I mean, the Phillies starters, you would pretty much start everybody that you
anybody
have.
On
Aguilar,
offense, I would start.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, good luck, man.
Jeffrey, I don't know, because Jeffrey, even on games where you think Philly's going to go off and they do go off, and Jeffrey still doesn't do nothing.
He's like every time with his projections, he's under.
Man, shout out to Zach Ertz though, man. He's been the top tight end so far, man.
Yeah, no, he's been legit. Yeah, the best.
That's another reason why I love starting Wentz, man, because if it's in the red zone, Ertz is their go-to.
I think Philly's defense is going to be an awesome start today. It's a rookie quarterback. I'm starting Garcon just because I don't have better options, but. Their passing defense isn't that good, so.
But they did throw on Cowboys last week. I mean, they have a
they
have
were
some
the
passing
ball
game, and that's good for you if you're starting Garcon, because if they're down, which we know they're probably most likely going to be, they have to throw the ball.
Thanks,
and they're going to be behind. You know that.
Thanks, brother.
You know what they call those trash points. Garbage
fantasy
points,
man. Yeah, garbage points.
Ain't nothing like fantasy garbage points, man.
That's how I bit Navajo in our.
I got the bye week blues, man.
Garbage points will win you a game. I won by less than a point last week.
Carlos Hyde, you got to start him, right? I think he's gonna get at least a touchdown.
He's a good start because he's their number one back. He's one of the few in the lead that is their number one back. You got a rookie
quarterback. He needs to do something. And he's gonna have to throw.
But then Philly has some injuries on the line, and the linebackers are out for the season. So that's a good sign for any other team playing against them. But their defense is still solid. But I would think if you have to start, I would start them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
they're gonna get the ball.
I see Philly in a blowout on this one,
especially with the buys. Yeah,
I
think Philly's gonna win.
Yeah, Philly's gonna win.
Yeah, easy. They're the best team in the NFC right now.
I think they're the best team in the NFL, man.
Yeah,
as much as I
can argue the NFL right now. Yeah, it's a week-to-week league right now.
They've been
the
most consistent the last couple of weeks.
Yep. And the only team they lost to was Kansas City.
And there was by 2 points, 3 points. They won by a lot.
So but they also almost lost to the Giants too, though.
That is true.
Yeah, but I mean they handle.
But everybody has their bad weeks.
I'm scared as a Cowboys fan.
Oh, I'm scared. We still got to play him twice.
Yeah, definitely.
We ain't played him once yet.
Yeah.
So then we got Carolina and Tampa. This is gonna be a slobber knocker. Carolina needs to step it up, man. I don't know.
Yeah, they've been up and down. Cam's been up and down.
Yeah, they haven't been consistent enough. Cam Newton can have a hell of a game. This is one where he has the chance to be able to do a lot. It's a division game. Tampa Bay last week, they were playing against Buffalo, and they were letting Buffalo go up and down the field on them too. Mm-hmm. So I think Carolina can do it, man. I think they need to get the running backs more involved too. Christian McCaffrey, man, he's a playmaker, and they fail to try to get him the ball.
Yeah, they pass to him a lot. Yeah,
they pass to him a lot, but they don't give him a lot of good chances.
They let Cam run more than he should.
They still tinker with Jonathan Stewart. Yeah. And I mean, Cam still gets his yards on the ground too. But as a fantasy owner, he's been kind of up and down. I let him go, and I regretted it. But then he had a bad game, so I wasn't feeling so bad. Last game, he didn't really produce. So he's a tough call. And then when he has plus matchups, even earlier in the year, when he had a plus matchup versus New Orleans, he didn't produce like I thought he was going to do.
He had a plus matchup. I played him over Russell Wilson, which is my backup. He only only put up like 6 points.
See, that's
Wilson
bad.
had a hell of a game.
Thanks for Wentz, bro.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Hey, I'm still all right.
Later in the year, he warms up and gets better.
Yeah,
so it seems
still in last place.
There's some players that start slow and then towards the end of the year turn it up.
On the other side, Winston last week had a good game against Buffalo. They couldn't pull off the win, but he played good, and he was coming off a shoulder injury. They didn't even know if he was going to play last minute.
And that changed the dynamic of the game.
And he put up like 30 fantasy points last week.
That's awesome.
I was on the fence last week of not having a quarterback or to play. I was trying to make a trade, even though I had Carr and Winston, but both of them were like question marks. Like Carr was still coming back off the injury. He didn't really do nothing the week before. Winston was coming off the injury. I'm like, dang. So I just rolled with Carr, and both of them had over 30 points. Carr had like 39, and Winston had 30. But this week, Carolina does get Kuechly back, so that's going to be interesting too, man.
Sometimes you got to just stick with talent. I mean, the talent's there, and they're going to have some bad games.
Sometimes
but
you got to go with who has the higher ceiling.
Yeah, but both of those guys have
even
the
though
pedigree.
It's risky who has the higher ceiling if it does work out.
Jameis, he gets a bad rap for certain things, maybe off the field issues, but he is a warrior, man. When he's hurt and when he's down in the game, like. There's no quit in Jameis, so he's exciting to watch. So you can't count him out. He's got a lot of heart. Yeah, and he plays. Does. He can run. And, I mean, he throws it up. I got Mike Evans in this game. Guy. So I'm happy to see what he could do. I know he goes to him a lot. He spreads the ball a lot.
He does. They started spreading the ball.
Cameron Brady's been solid all year.
Cameron Brady's been solid for me all year.
Yep. Deshaun Jackson's
O.J. Howard's starting to play good.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing is O.J. Howard's starting to play good. I'm like, damn, man, give my boy Brady his ball
He's a
back.
legit weapon, and he's somebody that we told y'all to kind of watch out for, too, because he just needs to play. And once you get the ball in his hands, he's got that home run potential, and he's gonna start making some big touchdowns soon. You watch on short passes, and he might get some today. I know Manny's playing him against me, so I hope he doesn't. But I think he's going to have a good game today. Carolina's defense is pretty tough, though.
Yeah. Kuechly back makes a big difference.
There's somebody I had and dropped just because I didn't want to have Evans scoring defenses against me. I don't know if I should have done that because it's tough because I really didn't want to drop their defense, and they're better than what was out there. But at the same time, every time Evans gets a touchdown, I get I get points and ding points. So I don't know. I just took.
I think
him off
Evans will have a big game today.
That's how I
if not Evans, then D-Jax will have a big game.
I picked Carolina in my pick'em, but man, I feel like Tampa Bay has a good chance of pulling off a win on this one, man. But I'm still gonna ride with Carolina.
I'm rolling with Tampa Bay with this one.
Man, I don't know.
It's a hard pick.
This one is so tough. This
is gonna be one of the good games to watch.
I'll go with Tampa Bay too. And Doug Martin, too. We haven't mentioned him. I think he's going to help, too, and control some of the pace of the game. So I was definitely starting him against them. One of my leagues, I got Doug Martin and Le'Veon Bell. How is that matchup against Carolina's defense? Are they pretty tough, their run defense?
They allow points. He's got a solid. It's not the easiest matchup, but he's got a decent matchup.
Shady got a touchdown last week on him, but they didn't have their middle linebacker.
Yeah. Okay.
But like Emmanuel said, Kuechly's coming back, and he's their warrior out there, man. So. The play caller out there, the captain of the team.
The middle linebacker.
He's their quarterback. He's their Sean Lee, bro. So he's definitely gonna be in the mix. But
he's legit, all pro.
But again, one big hit and that fool can go out right back out.
That's true. Right?
He's very injury prone, just like Sean Lee. Hey.
Yeah, the concussions.
Seattle and Houston, man, that's gonna look like a good game. I think
that might be one of the games of the day. Other than
that's later on today. 3 man, but that's gonna be a good game.
Two physical defenses.
That's going to be a low-scoring game.
At Seattle, so loud, the rookie there against their 12th man situation they got going over there.
And then all the off-field issues for Houston this week, man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's
Bob McNair pretty much stating that.
I didn't like what he said either, man. I don't
quote, he said that you can't let
to quote him, he said, we can't let the inmates run the prison, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much tough. Basically. Just threw that's what he said.
Man. I mean, they've already been through a lot with the hurricane and losing J.J. Watt. They've lost, they've had a lot of issues.
For a city that really needs to be united like they've been united in the whole hurricane relief, for him to go off and say something like that, he should have known better and should have acted better as an owner than to say something like that. He forgets that,
yeah, he
may be the one writing the check to these players, but the players are the reason people watch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Without the players, there is no NFL.
Right, and one of their star players is DeAndre Hopkins.
He walked out. Yeah. They were trying to talk him out of why they had to talk a lot of the players from walking out of practice right then and there.
I believe it was at least 10 left.
Like there was at least 10 that left, and there was more that had to be talked by other coaches to stay in that were going to walk out. And they said there's talk that the players, even if they do end up playing today, which they said a lot of them might not even play, that they're going to pull off the decals from their helmets. So I'm going to see if they do that today.
Yeah, there's going to be all eyes on them. And, I mean, I can't blame them if they do choose to do something. I hope they play, I mean, for the league's sake and, I mean, even my team's sake, just being selfish. But I understand that they should try to do something and let him know that they're not in agreement with what he said.
It's hard for some players because not all players are that big star like Hopkins. Get that check.
I mean, but you think about it, these dudes are the exact opposite of what he's saying that they are in that context.
Houston has no reason to be considered a team that has issues. Like they've been a pretty a quiet team as far as off the field issues, other than like J.J. Watt getting hurt, and then the positive. They've had a lot of positive things going on this year with the hurricane relief, and for him to just throw them under the bus like that, man.
And they have a good season going, and I don't even know why he would just go out and say something like that.
That's just stupid, man.
That's just. Let's assume everybody plays.
Let's assume everybody. Yeah, I mean, they gotta get. They still. You can't sit there and say that I'm gonna lose $400 something million, $400 something $1,000 for one check. You have to. It's kind of they put them in a bad place, but for the sake of fantasy, we'll hope they do play. And like you said,
I need
for the
Will
sake
Fuller to score some
for
touchdowns.
The sake of football,
who's been pretty hot, best waiver wire pick of late. Yeah, I need and Deshaun Watson. I think he's going to produce too. Yeah, Seattle's defense isn't what everybody's make them out to be. I know they may be getting a little better, but
they're still
you can still start your starters against them. They're not as scary as they used to be. They're not automatic sit.
Nah. Seattle's offense looking good though. Russell Wilson looked hot.
Russell Wilson's coming back. I know they had their own issues too with them fighting each other on the sidelines, but
Jimmy Graham's been picking it up lately.
Yeah, finally. Baldwin looked good last week.
Yeah, Baldwin. I mean, they have some other good weapons. Lockett.
Their running game needs.
Paul Richardson's been pretty good. They score touchdowns.
Their running game isn't really all there, but that gives it good for Russell Wilson to either be their runner.
I wouldn't start any of their running backs. I mean, you got a jumbled committee of
nobody. This is
going
to be a low-scoring affair.
I think it's going to be a big defensive game. A big defensive game. Yeah. Even though with J.J. Watt out, the Houston's defense is still legit defense, man. So I'm going to roll with Houston on this one, just because I think they have the ability to win the game, and then I think they're gonna go out and make a point to the owner, like, look, we still win games even though you're talking idiot.
I don't know. I think with the off the field distractions, Seattle being at home, the 12th man. Yeah, I think Seattle gets this one.
I think so too. I have a Lamar Miller in this game, and I'm nervous to play him against Seattle, but I don't really have any better options.
Yeah.
But I think Seattle's going to win this game at home. I think they're going to be pumped up to shut down the rookie.
Like I don't see this being like a lot of big plays. I think this is going to be a solid defensive game. There'll be some scoring. It's just not going to be a high-scoring game.
I think Deshaun Watson will have a good game, though, bro. I said that about him a few times where, like, oh, man, this is going to be his tough matchup because he's a rookie. And then he ends up,
has to be
and then he comes up and just shows up 40 points. Like, oh, man, why didn't I start him? I mean, it didn't affect me at that point.
He's definitely a candidate for rookie.
He's a candidate for rookie of the year. He's definitely making everybody think twice about just handing it to somebody. I think this is going to be a good game. I think like we all said, the defense is going to be key. But, that should be a good game in the afternoon. To go along with the next game.
The afternoon games are going to be all pretty good.
All good, yeah. Our next one, our big bread and butter, them boys, the old school rivalry against the Washington Redskins, man.
Nervous? Anybody nervous much?
They get Josh Norman back
at Washington.
I always get nervous with the Redskins, man, because they play us tough every time.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
It's one of the oldest rivalries, man. Cowboys versus Redskins, man.
That's one of the best rivalries, I think. Yeah, it's Kirk Cousins, Primo. You can't ever count him out, man. He's he's one of their go-tos when the game's on the line, and he's very reliable. You can't discredit anything that he's not done or done because he has that threat. If it comes down to a close game and it's a fourth quarter, he's kind of like he has that Aaron Rodgers effect on the Cowboys, like whereas he can come back in the late game. Yeah, he's tough to stop. And
that's right, man. He gets touchdowns.
Man.
He's averaging like over 2+ touchdowns against us and big 20-yard plays against us.
Big yardage.
Yeah. They're leading the league in 20 and 30-yard plays, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough test for our secondary.
Yeah, they put up a good game against. I'm still starting my Redskins though today.
Yeah, he spreads the ball. Vernon Davis has been awesome. He's been getting a lot of yards. He's somebody I'm going to be scared of and interested to see how our linebackers handle him in the inside. And of course, they've got Terrell Pryor. We've got Crowder.
He hasn't really done a lot, but then Doxson's been
stepping up. I picked him up in one of my leagues.
The guy that I have on 2 teams, and proud to say, Chris Thompson.
Yeah, me too. I got him too.
He's the X factor in their offense.
He got me my garbage. He didn't do as much as he would have against Philly, but that's a tough Philly defense, and it was a close game. But he did give me the last garbage pass to maybe go up and win by a point, but he is definitely a starter.
He needs a little dump off pass. He can get 60-70 yards.
Against my boys' defense this week, he's definitely going to guarantee to put some points. Man.
He's a starter.
He's definitely a starter.
I hope not.
I hope not either. But being realistic and being how good of an effect that he has on the team. He's definitely a must start for me.
He's a lot scarier to go up against than Samaje Perine and Rob Kelly and the other guys.
These guys I'm not so worried about this.
He's a home run threat. Yeah, big time. He's productive.
I'm still going with the Cowboys, though.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Cowboys, but I definitely think it's going to be a tough game.
It's going to be a tough game.
You can't Washington with Thompson on the outside, just throw it to the screen and let him go, and he's going to get 10 yards every time.
He's on pace. Thompson's on pace to get in 1,000 yards receiving as a running back. That's more than Dez Bryant when you put it in perspective. So
and Jay get Josh Norman back this week.
And Josh Norman's coming back against Dez.
I'm still starting Dez.
That's a matchup I cannot wait to see.
This is why I like this rivalry. I know it's one of the old school. It's just Josh Norman and Dez Bryant are good for NFL. I know they have their little commercials, but when they're out there, focus is on them, and they both want to win. That makes a different dynamic to me. That like you're gonna see Dez yell at that. Give me the damn ball, man.
They talk smack about each other, but you can tell they respect each other.
Norman has gotten the best of Dez the last couple of times.
He's been shutting Dez down.
I think he's still not 100%, so I'm hoping
Dez can get in there.
Right.
Let Dez run some slot.
Not just because I'm a Cowboys fan. That's what I'm going for. But I really think the Cowboys over the last 3 games have averaged over 30 points. Yeah. I mean, they put up 40 last week, 30 before that.
I have Dak in one of my leagues, and he is a must start too. He's got over 30 points, man, every week.
Yeah, he's gonna have a tough test against Washington. In the
first
a lot
of people.
But Washington has a lot of injuries too.
Yeah. So. At the beginning of the season, people were doubting Dak. Oh, he was not as good as everybody was crowning him up. But look at him now. I mean, he's been one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league.
His sophomore slump is only by a few stats. Like it's his slump is he does have a little bit less than he had last year. But again, he's still putting up. He's very productive.
The thing is, he's having a slump against one of the best rookie seasons ever.
Exactly.
Right. So as a quarterback,
it's not really a slump.
His slump is still as good as like half the quarterbacks in the league right now.
That's awesome. And
speaking
of slump, somebody broke out of their slump. Zeke.
Oh, man.
And then we got him this week.
It was against San Fran.
It was, granted.
But I think he could have a big game again this week.
He had that burst that we've been waiting for.
We've been waiting for this. And this is a confidence builder last week.
He started out slow last year, too. And he's still not that far from his pace from last year. So him, too. Like you said, he had an exceptional rookie year, so the floor is high. The floor is really high for these guys.
This is definitely a game where if we get in the red zone, we definitely need to score.
Just let them run it for
not one weekend, especially with the kicking issues we're having. We definitely cannot rely on field goals this week.
And keep Primos off the field. We have to keep Cousins off the field.
Yeah, you got to time manage this team.
Do not let him.
Regardless, they can score on you really quickly.
Yeah, don't give this guy time like he's saying at the end of the game, like Tom Brady.
And then they got
Aaron Rodgers, excuse me.
Right, Washington has a solid pair of tight ends with Vernon Davis.
Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed came back last week.
He's coming on.
He's been good.
Yeah.
And that open if they put them both out there on 2 tight ends set and our linebackers go cover, then you got Chris Thompson.
I'm glad we got Sean Lee back, and then Jalen Smith been looking better in this last couple of weeks.
He was in the mix last week.
He got his first sack, so I mean that was good.
And, they still have Crowder, they still have Doxson. Those are 2 weapons too on the outside that they haven't been producing. It's been hard to call who's going to produce, but he spreads the ball out a lot. Cousins does. It's gonna be an awesome game.
A good game to watch.
Yeah, definitely. So. And the implications on the NFC East too. Big
that's
time.
a big. This is a second place game right here. So winner takes second place. So I'm gonna roll with Dallas. I got to, but not because I'm a homer, but I can see that with that game they had last week where everybody was just clicking. You build that up and you roll it to next week, and then it's, Washington's coming off a loss against Philly. And it was a deploring loss because they had a pretty good game.
Yeah,
they had
have injuries on their offensive line,
and their
which I think is going to help us.
Yeah, they have a list of injuries.
It should be a good defensive game for the Cowboys.
Yeah, we should have a decent matchup. But Kirk Cousins, you can't count him out. I mean, this on both sides, it's if you have starters on both sides, maybe the only concern I would have is maybe Dez, and I'm still starting him though.
Yeah, I don't have no choice but to start him.
Yeah, you have to.
I draft him to start him every week.
Me too.
Bye week.
And he's
been producing. And
my brother kind of told me, like, man, you need to drop Dez, you need to get rid of Dez. But Dez has been consistent every week, even though he's got the toughest cornerbacks on him. He's been at least a solid 15, 16 points every week.
So I would like to see a little bit more from Bryce Butler, man.
Definitely.
Can y'all let Bryce catch
a little bit more?
Let Bryce get in the game.
Yeah,
please. We called it for last week.
I was happy to see him in there, but throw it to him.
Yeah, right. Look,
quit going to Williams.
You can't. Yeah, T-Will is great, and if he's good, if he's going straight up, but Bryce Butler has showed to y'all numerous times that he can run routes and catch the ball. He's not a body catcher. He uses his hands.
Right.
Let the boy catch the ball, man.
Old man Witten was getting involved last game too. That was good to see.
Yeah, it's good to see him back, and he's been very. He's on one of my. I didn't drop him because he had a good game, and I ended up getting Kelsey. But Witten's one of those ones that you don't ever know when he's going to show out. When he does, he doesn't just show out he shows out to have a big game.
He's out there doing
He's your boo. Catches. You're never going to drop him.
That one-handed catch.
I can't quit you, Witten.
I know y'all remember that one-handed catch.
That one-handed catch, man.
Yeah,
and this is an old school rivalry game, so there's a lot on the line. But I think Witt will have a big game too. He'll have some touches, and I think Dak and him got the rapport back. Everyone's been covering Cole Beasley. They know he's a threat, so they know that's their blanket. So of course Cole's in a bigger slump than he was last year, but that opens it up for everybody else. That's when you got to give Bryce Butler or T. Will a chance. But I'm rolling with the Cowboys, man. It's going to be a good game though.
Yep. Can't wait.
So last game before this is the Sunday night game, last one of the day. Pittsburgh and Detroit at Detroit.
Be a game too, man. That's gonna be a solid game. I think Pittsburgh's kind of coming back on the offensive side.
Pittsburgh's been hot the last couple of weeks, man. Their offense is clicking.
Le'Veon Bell,
beast, man. That stiff arm last week.
Yeah.
Woo, get off me.
Yep, Antonio Brown's top receiver in football.
Still,
which no surprise there.
No surprise there. Yeah.
So.
Y'all gotta. You can't. I mean, he had a slow.
He's getting 20 points a game though. Like Big Ben's gonna go to him. So
he's a go-to.
No matter who's on it. Yeah, Slay's gonna be on him. That'll be a good matchup. But I still think he still produces. I mean, I'm in a PPR league, or we're in PPR league, so I'm thinking like at least 10, 15 points.
Man, as a Detroit fan though, Detroit's got to be frustrating this season, man. They started out hot.
Real hot,
and then I don't know what happened to them the last couple of weeks, but. They still play. They're still within every game that they play. They're in there. They're in there. They just can't seem to win now.
This is also a good game on fantasy wise. It's a good game to start who you got against each other because Detroit has been in a lot of shootouts and Pittsburgh. Their defense, like I said,
number one pass defense, man.
Yeah, they're number one pass defense.
They haven't gave up more than 200 yards, I think, in a game.
Good luck with Stafford owners. Yeah, Stafford's on the waiver wire in a lot of leagues.
Yeah, I dropped him. So
yeah.
I think Pittsburgh's going to roll away with this one, but I think it's going to be a shootout, though, man.
It'll be a good game at first, but I think Pittsburgh will start pulling away.
You think they'll start selling? They'll control the game.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell is a big difference maker, and I think he's going to have a decent game this week.
Pittsburgh's going to be sitting Martavis Bryant, who hasn't been producing much, but he's been causing a lot of drama.
To the practice squad this week.
Okay, so he's in the practice squad, so he's not even there. Juju Smith-Schuster's there. Who picked up. He's been doing pretty good, but happened to get his bike stolen during the week.
Get that man's bike back.
They got his bike back.
Juju's big adventures.
Sure they found it.
So it's pretty interesting.
Juju's been a good go-to because Antonio Brown gets all the attention, and you kind of forget this guy stays wide open, and he runs decent routes. He gets open. He's got separation.
Yep.
He's a good thing for Ben to have because Ben has been struggling a little bit, but he's I messed with Lex because we traded with him, and then he had a horrible game this first week.
Yeah.
But he's been coming back. He's getting it back into the shape of old Big Ben, where he's finding the open receivers, and they're getting separation. So they're starting to come back.
Against Detroit?
I would.
You would?
If you have a bye week, Big Ben is a good start.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and on the other side, Stafford, you wouldn't start Marvin Jones.
Golden Tate is out.
Golden Tate is
so
out, so yeah, maybe.
Have a good game.
Yeah, Galladay, he's been trying to make a little comeback, but I wouldn't go with any of them.
Matt Stafford, though, you don't ever know what this season, like I said, it's been crazy. So depending on what Steelers defense comes out, Stafford always can put up numbers too. If they get down, they're gonna throw. So it's kind of one of those things where, like, well, do you want to risk it? If you don't have another option, then definitely start him. But I mean,
any Detroit running backs that you would start against them?
Not against them.
No, that's pretty much it as far as got Ebron.
Once Pittsburgh started, their defense
started. Is just too tough.
When Pittsburgh went off on Kansas City and got that win, that brought him up. Yeah. So I mean,
even Kareem Hunt didn't
do much.
Not for what he has been doing. Didn't do much against Pittsburgh. So.
Oh yeah, I want to see Pittsburgh's offense on that turf. I think they're going to be fast. I think they're going to be good and score some points.
Yeah, it's definitely a different element for them, but it's better for them. I like it when they play outside. I think that they're in their element, but. Matt Stafford, he may still put up points just because if they play from behind, then he's got to
have to earn his paycheck this game.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the ones. If Pittsburgh
highest paid quarterback in the league, he ain't been producing.
Pittsburgh's looking more into they're looking more into their old self and fixing their issues. So I'm rolling with Pittsburgh on this one.
I got Pittsburgh.
And the Monday nighter.
Denver
at Kansas City.
That's not a bad game either.
That's not a West showdown.
Bad game for Monday night, man. That's going to be a good game.
It's a good way to end the week.
It's going to be AFC West. Divisional game. It's going to be one that can have playoff implications from even
from the get go.
From the get go. So
I mean, this is
at Arrowhead though. That's a tough
place.
Another tough place.
But you know what? I give their fans some credit, man. They love to get loud, and that's what I like to see. I like to see the home crowd play advantage.
See a red, it's awesome.
I wish we had that here. Look, unfortunately, we have a lot of people with money that go to these games.
To buy and sell tickets to the other teams.
Yeah, and they'll just go there and sip their wine and sit low. Your average Joe that's going to be loud doesn't get to go. But at Arrowhead, man, that's a beautiful sight when you see the fans get that loud, breaking noise records. That's awesome. I'm definitely going to end up rolling with Kansas on this one. Although Denver's fixing their issues and they have a solid defense and they have a good team, I think Kansas is going to come back and want to prove a point.
Denver, the last couple of weeks on offense has looked horrible.
Yeah, Simeon's taking a step back. Yeah,
Thomas is, he was dealing with the injury. He was still not 100% last week. He didn't look too good. Emmanuel Sanders looks like he might play. I don't even know if he
misses him though. You can tell that he misses him big time.
That was opened up a lot of stuff. Emmanuel Sanders played a big key for them.
I made a trade for him with Ugo. It worked out until he got hurt. Even when he got hurt, he still put up like 13 points. But he's been out these last game he was out. Today I haven't benched just because of the same thing. I don't think he's going to be good to go. He didn't practice all week, so I don't think he's playing Monday. So I think they desperately need him.
Somebody.
C.J. Anderson started off real strong, one of the best running backs at the beginning of the season. He's been kind of quiet these last couple of weeks. I don't know. It's going to be tough for Denver to go into Arrowhead and just impose their will on Kansas City. So
yeah, I'd be nervous to start the Denver defense too against Alex Smith.
Yeah,
Alex Smith's been playing like he wants a paycheck, man.
Yeah, he's been balling. I mean, not only that, but Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill,
and even with that loss against Oakland, I love their
offense.
Kelsey. Even with their loss against Oakland, that was a good game. It wasn't a bad loss. Like I mean, it just Oakland got the ball at the end. That's what it came down to. Yeah. But I think they're going to definitely roll over Denver, man, because Denver's defense is tough too. But Alex Smith is balling out of control right now. He's running the ball well. He's finding his receivers. But
if the Giants could put numbers on the Broncos defense,
beat them down too. They beat the Denver Broncos down.
The Broncos have a hard time covering tight ends, and Kansas City has one of the top tight ends in the league. And Kelsey, Kelsey's one of those tight ends that could take it to the house at any point. You know what I mean? So.
I'm definitely starting Kelsey to do
So would y'all be nervous to start Smith against the no-fly zone or Tyreek Hill?
I wouldn't be too nervous.
Not this week, man. No, just
being prime time, being in Arrowhead, I think they're
those
are
your key players. I think you need to start.
Andy Reid,
Andy Reid's going to have them ready for that game.
Yeah, man.
He knows how to scout really good.
I think he's turning into one of my favorite coaches now. Just watching the offense is becoming one of my favorites to watch.
All right, we got a message alert over here from our boy Fredo Osito.
Public service announcement.
Next Sunday, Chef Modelo is getting down. He said he's going to set up for a tailgate against the boys and the Chiefs. If y'all haven't had some of Alfredo's cooking, y'all need to come on down and check that out.
Man.
We went to a cookout. We went camping, I guess. I guess you can call it camping for boys' getaway. We literally came back on Saturday at about noon from the shooting range, and we ate from noon till like 3 a.m. That fool was just cooking back to back, like more food. Like I've never had to say I don't want no more, but everything was on point. That boy can cook, man. So,
so he's y'all gonna be at the Cowboys game. Y'all come check out his tailgate. He'll be out there.
Even if you don't go to the game, that tailgate's probably worth just checking out.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's gonna be a good game. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Cowboys.
Man, that'd be a good game.
There's a lot of Chiefs fans here in Dallas.
Big time, and they travel. A lot of history. It's not too far, so there will be a lot of people in town for that game.
Right. That's another rival too, man. Cowboys and Indians, man.
Yeah, there you go. It's a former Texas team right there. The former team that was in Dallas,
right, the former Chiefs. Texans,
the Dallas Texans, man. So yeah, that'll be good. Alfredo's opening it up to everybody. Everybody's all fans welcome. So if y'all are in the area, swing by. I guarantee you, if you get some of that food, you won't leave disappointed.
Right on.
And we'll remind y'all again next week.
Yeah. So I'm rolling with Kansas on this one.
Yeah, I got
Kansas City.
That'll be a good game.
Right. Me too, bro.
Any other must starts or must
injuries
that we think about that we can think about fantasy wise before we go on?
No, not
good
right
luck.
now.
I want to check on that Browns game in a minute.
Yeah, anybody update?
Yeah.
And
let's see. Were they? Ooh, it got out of hand. 30-16.
Not what we expected.
Minnesota.
Now we went back to what we expected.
Yeah, Minnesota, the second half, as I stated.
What did Thielen get?
I hate when I'm right.
Thielen's got 98 yards so far in the touchdown.
Not bad. That's not bad
really
at all.
20 yards per catch.
I said he's on my bench.
Right. I need him to get some more points.
That's all right. I mean, so there was moving on to Saturday football, man. There was a lot
Saturday
of
upset special yesterday, boy.
There was that was headlines because I got it on my phone. It was a headline, the upset specials, man. This is the beauty of college football. You think that you got something going, and then anything can happen. TCU, my Horned Frogs lost to Iowa State. Man.
They got drugged through the mud.
What happened?
They just didn't show up.
It was a low-scoring game, but I mean, any given week,
it was a stinker, man.
Right,
so that was bad. They're definitely going to slide down. You losing to Iowa State, they're definitely going to go out on top 10. And I don't think they're going to be making the playoff with that type of loss.
Not with that, man. That's going to bring them down.
At a week Big 12.
And then this far into the season now, where like every game is starting to really mean something.
Every game
in college,
matters.
one game means everything.
Big time.
And Penn State,
to lose to a team like Iowa State.
Yeah, Penn State and Ohio State.
Oh man, y'all didn't catch that game.
38. And that's two ranked teams. I know Penn State was ranked 2. I don't think that drops them down too much, but it's gonna get dropped maybe out of the top 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Enter Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Hey, we all happen to be Irish fans.
We're Irish fans here, and surprisingly enough, man, when I didn't know there was a lot of Irish fans here in North Texas, man.
We're global, baby.
I got my sweater. I got my sweater on today because it's cold outside, and I got compliments left and right. Like, man, I love your sweaters. Like, hey, man, go fight an Irish. They need to be in the top 4 after this.
Y'all forget Notre Dame is on TV every Saturday.
Yeah,
every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Yeah, so they should be moving up into the top.
I mean, you think about Notre Dame this season, they only have one loss, and that one loss was to Georgia.
Which is still,
by the way, Georgia, yeah.
Who handled Florida yesterday.
Dirty, 42-7.
At Florida, at the Swamp.
At the Swamp, tough. Man. Georgia's a good running team,
Georgia, I see getting into the top 2 now, man. They
should be.
Yeah,
so I think Notre Dame has a chance to crack the top 4 if they don't disrespect them too much.
Yeah, they should. They should. I know they get a lot of flack because they're not in a division. They're independent, but still, they make their schedule and they play good teams. I mean, their only loss is to a top 4 team. They need to move up. Y'all disrespecting the Irish like that, man. Católico Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So,
but yeah, there was a lot of good games.
These games are getting closer and closer, big time.
This is the beautiful part of the year is where we have every sport available to watch on any given day, and college football only gets better from now on. So, I mean, South Florida lost to Houston. They were up there.
Cougs.
Shout out to Adam Donato, biggest Houston Coug fan I know.
And Oakland Raiders fan.
Yeah, he's a Raiders fan.
Yeah,
too.
his wife works for them, so they have like season tickets. So they get to. I need to get out there and go to SMU Houston game one day.
Oklahoma
SMU won again, so that's pretty good. I know they're doing okay.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, college is what's up, man. It's a good thing to watch on Saturdays. Of course, the early games aren't so good. The mid-afternoons are always awesome.
And the night games
are usually off the chain.
Now
so
that
it's a good
soccer season is
Texas Tech and Oklahoma was a good game.
That was a good game. Oklahoma's trying to come back and prove a point, but I think it's a little late for them.
Yeah, Miami and UNC was a good game back and forth. That was something I was flipping. But there were so many good games at that 2:30 hour to watch. It was hard to watch.
Central Florida put up 73 points. I know Austin P scored 33, but 73, man, that's crazy.
Austin who?
Austin P.
All right.
Austin P. Yeah, that kind of sums it up for you.
And 73. That's how they're feeling.
Right.
Yes.
And last night we did have a World Series game.
Oh man, let's get into some baseball.
Talked about the World Series. It's been a fall classic
Thank you,
for
baseball.
real.
Thank you for
this
following
is
it right.
exactly what baseball needs right now. Two young teams going at it, two teams full of stars.
This has been one of those World Series that in 10, 20 years they're going to be referring to.
Like, they're going to put it on ESPN Classics, bro.
Yeah, man.
This is a good series. This is definitely what we needed. Even if you're an average baseball fan, you think the game is boring to watch. I guarantee you, tune into a World Series game this weekend, and you are gonna fall in love with playoffs.
This World Series has had some of the best pitching.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, there's been plays being made at the third base. Man, the third baseman yesterday even though Houston lost, the third baseman yesterday was making some plays, man.
He was running all over the place, man.
You can be busy and just tune in the seventh inning and on and still see a really good game at the end of these games, just the way that these teams have been coming up in the clutch and hitting home runs.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting series. Defensive plays. Houston's so exciting to watch at the plate. McCann has been getting everybody out. Houston's infield and outfielders have been throwing a lot of people out. It's been awesome. There's been a lot of close plays at the plate.
You got tossed a little early in Houston.
Yeah, you got rocked.
He got rocked, and that's known that he has that.
As a Rangers fan, you've seen that before,
though. You have to know that with he can get rocked early, but he can still come back and pitch.
But against Houston, though, I don't know if they can risk him getting rocked any more than they got rocked.
Yeah, that's true.
Houston's a good team, man.
Dynamo on offense.
Man, but the Dodgers, shout out to the Dodgers and the Astros, man. This is a good series. I cannot complain about either way it goes any given day. It's a hell of a series. This is good to watch. And if you guys if you're on the road, tune into a baseball game on the radio. The guys paint such a beautiful picture of the game. Baseball was my first love. That's the first game that I knew how to play and knew the rules to before football, before anything else. So I always have a little bit extra. Me and my dad can always sit down and watch some baseball any given day. But playoff baseball is just another element. Right. The crowd is louder than you've ever heard throughout the season.
Every pitch matters. Right.
Everything matters, man. And shout out to the Dodgers organist who plays some Mexican music. He plays Selena.
They jam out there, bro. They play a lot of hip hop. Kendrick Lamar during the breaks.
Drake. Yeah, we got to go out to a Dodger game.
That's on the list. Big
anytime I go to, if I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna make sure I go out during the summer and go to a Dodgers game.
For money purposes, go Astros.
This is gonna be. It's still a tight race, though, man. I think it's gonna go to Game 7. I hope it does. It
looks like it. I mean, we're at Game 4 now, tied 2-2. So
yeah, man. I hope it goes to Game 7.
We'll be out there.
This is back-to-back Game 7s, man. That'd be like 2 years in a row. This is the awesome series, though. This is what baseball needed. This is the right teams that were in. When Cleveland was out, I thought Cleveland was gonna be a hot run because they had the streak and all that, but the right teams went in. And this is a hell of a series, and the pitching's gonna matter now that they're gonna get back into the rotation. You're gonna see how big of a difference. Like they'll switch everybody in, especially playing now when they go back to playing National League. Right. How they do the substitutions and oh man.
Yeah, that made a difference in the last game before they came to Houston, where they intentionally walked the player and then to pitch to Verlander. And it paid off because then they got the out.
It's a different style of baseball. So, it's an adjustment for the American League.
When you have to play over there, or who has the home field advantage? Because you if it comes down all the way down to the end, you end up playing over there. That could make a big difference too.
But I think Houston's still playing. They have that National League mentality still. I mean, they just got into the American League, so they're not. It's nothing new for them.
Yeah.
And their coaching staff to be like, all right, well, we're just gonna play National League game. The rules.
That's true.
But
in the postseason, they haven't been as good on the road as they have been at home. So
this is where home field really does matter.
Yeah, big time.
It helps a lot, man. But shout out to MLB, man. That's a great series. I'm still thinking Houston's gonna win. I got the bet, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers come out and pull it because their teams are just playing great, man. I can't complain. It's a good problem to have to watch. Right. It's good football.
They got baseball. The next game on tonight, right?
They play tonight, and then and I think they go back on Tuesday or Monday. I don't think they play tomorrow. I think they get a day off and they travel back. So without further ado, What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
Anything y'all got going on for what's happening?
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to some friends of ours from Instagram, Girl Talk Imas, with Girl Talk and then Y with the E.
Like and
Mas.
more.
Yeah, the Canela.vintage and Mexi Moments. We've been working with them. They're a girls empowerment movement podcast, and they've been watching the show and giving us shout outs, and we've been giving feedback back and forth. So definitely check them out and check out their pages and see what they have going on. I know ladies, y'all may like that, and guys, it doesn't hurt to have a woman's point of view every now and then.
Every once in a while,
to hear, you know, when you get a little older, it's a little harder to reach out and talk to anybody's support. If you have some shout outs that you want us to do, anybody, do that. That's what we're all about. And we want to support small businesses, other podcasts, anything like that. Shout outs, that's what we're all about. So that's it.
We're not stingy with the love. We'll share it. You know, we understand where everyone's coming from.
And speaking of that too, Fredo on the chat line was saying that he'll have some TVs there for those that aren't able to go to the game. So so that's definitely a big
y'all,
thing that you want to do.
I'm gonna say it again. Shout out to Fredo. That's my what's happening. That cookout, I'm sure you will leave satisfied.
Right.
So
in boxing news yesterday, Anthony Joshua pulled off a win. I didn't get to watch too much of the fight, but from what I saw, he was beating on him pretty good. A lot of people were saying it was an early stoppage. They shouldn't have stopped it, but either way it goes, he was going to win.
He pretty much did what everybody expected him to do, pretty much.
So now I believe his next weekend, Deontay Wilder's it's gonna be his second time fighting Stavern. He's the one that he won his championship when he first became a champion. I actually got to watch him fight in Las Vegas when they fought and he got the belt. So Deontay Wilder right now is one of our U.S. heavyweight champions. So we got to support, for the U.S. And I think this is going to be the setup, hopefully, that if he beats Stavern, that him and Anthony Joshua actually fight each other's next. So that'll be a big fight to watch in the heavyweight division.
Stavern's been one of the last guys to even challenge Wilder, and then Wilder's had an issue getting people to actually fight him because of failed drug tests and stuff like that. So it's gonna be good to even see him get back in the ring. It wasn't
Stavern originally that he was fighting. He was supposed to be fighting King Kong Ortiz, but that got because of the whole drug testing thing.
Right. So people are ducking this dude. So hopefully they'll make it happen, man. Make the heavyweights back again. Heavyweight.
We got a call in the what's happening section. What's going on?
Hello. Hey, what's up? Who got on the line?
Hi, I'm George Pell.
Hey, what's going on, George?
Hi.
How's it going, man?
It's good. It's going all right.
Right? How's your day going?
It's good.
So what's up, George?
I was actually wondering if you want to talk about kneeling during the national anthem.
Well, I mean, we've covered it a little bit. I mean, it has been one of the big talks in the NFL. We've had our opinions on it.
So I personally think it should be covered quite a bit, if you ask me.
What's your take on it?
My take on it, I don't know. Am I allowed?
Yeah, of course.
You're allowed to say whatever you want.
Can I ask one question real quick before you say that? Where are you from, George?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Hey,
okay,
Minnesota.
Cool. I can hear a little bit of a difference. Okay, so we just want to know where we're getting the perspective from. Thank you, and please go ahead.
Yeah, go
ahead.
ahead. Feel free to speak your mind, man.
I actually don't know why people really care. What they do, I think the big deal is really generated around President Trump and the manager.
I agree with you on that. I really don't care what a player does.
Exactly.
I think the media is making it a big deal more than it should be.
Yeah.
Everyone has their rights. I know there's a lot of people that don't agree with them, and I think they've made it a point to make it about the flag and the national anthem, which it wasn't started that way. I know people on both sides of the spectrum. I definitely think, yeah, I think you ought to be, I know some vets that'll say, I fought for the country to do what you want to do, and other vets that don't agree with it. But the issue has taken away from what it initially was, and it was never about the flag or the national anthem.
I think you're right. And I agree with you. I think Trump made it more than what it should have been as to what they were protesting. He made it more about the flag than it should have been. And I think that's what it made people split more of what they stand up for and who doesn't stand up for. But that's their right to either stand up or not stand up if they want to. I mean, I think to me that's the American thing, is that you have the right to choose what you want to do whenever you want to do it. So.
I think that's a great point, George. I think he, like as you said, President Trump polarized everyone, and he brought it to the forefront. I think some people were paying attention, and some might have caught it or thought it was disrespectful. But then he made everybody draw a line in the sand and point. Either you're on this side or you're on that side. You're either the Neil or you're not. And it seemed like it was actually dying down. And then Bob McNair made his statement. What do you think about that, George?
Yo. Speaking on the subject which we were previously on, what is your opinion on Trump, the Trump administration, with Steve Mnuchin?
Well, I mean, it's not really a political show, but
I don't really have much of an opinion. I don't watch much. I watch a lot of football.
It kind of, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I don't necessarily think any administration that would have got elected in would have done the right thing. Personally, I'm a third party type of person. I don't agree with having one side or the other.
What party is that?
I'm independent, man. It's I'm not really on this side or that side.
Libertarian.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. There's both sides have good qualities, and I would say libertarian if you want to call me that. I would definitely agree that both sides do things right and both sides do things wrong. There shouldn't really be divided lines. There should be. I need someone that comes into office. I want someone in office that's going to play both sides of the spectrum fair, and I don't think we had that option. So. But that's just my take. I'm just a guy from Texas that watches a lot of football and sports. So
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not educated.
But the question is, do you think Hillary would have done better?
No, I don't think. Like I said, I don't think either candidate. I didn't vote for either of them. To be honest,
who did you vote for?
I voted Libertarian. I'm gonna put it out there. I don't think either party had anything to offer to me personally that would have been beneficial.
In the end, I don't agree with Trump, but you know what? It's Sunday. I'm gonna go watch some football, and I don't care about nothing else.
He is our president. I support my country, so I don't wish bad on anybody. But it is what it is. It's a tough. Some people have that tough pill to swallow. I understand that he's our president. He was elected. I roll with that. So I'm not gonna dispute and I don't agree with everything that any politician does sometimes. But
we appreciate the call. Do you have anything else sports related?
For Ron Paul is what you're saying.
Oh man.
No, I don't know, man. Now you're getting too political.
Yeah. We're over our head, bro. Sorry, man. Do you have anything sports related, or is that it pretty much?
Yeah, actually, I was wondering how you think the Broncos are going to do this season.
Man, that's going to be tough.
They're going to fall short, I think.
With Simeon,
with Kansas playing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
With the new Peyton Manning and everything.
Yeah, I don't think Denver's going to. I think they're going to fall short. They're not going. I think they may make a wild card playoff game. But
they've been challenged offensively without Emmanuel Sanders. It's been a big blow. Yeah, it's been a big blow. I mean, their defense is still legit. They're still one of the best defenses in the league, but I think Simeon holds them back.
Yeah, and they're playing in a tough division with the Chiefs and the Raiders, so I don't know. It's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I think they'll address that in the offseason, quarterback more, because, even they got Paxton Lynch back, which says a lot, because considering how horrible he was.
Yeah.
Not Lynch back, Osweiler, I'm sorry. And they have Paxton Lynch there, but I don't see that they have confidence in him either, so it's just a mess in their quarterback situation.
Yeah.
I think
but, all right, but I think we're pretty much wrapping up. We appreciate the call, George. Thank you very much.
Do you play any sports, man?
We did.
We were playing softball.
Yeah, it's all season right now.
Growing up, we played football, and lately we've been playing softball. I played some kickball, but that's about it right now. It's getting tougher as we get older. Yeah, kickball is popular out here in Dallas.
Kickball?
Yeah. You'd be surprised,
There's some recreational leagues out
kickball.
here.
It's more of a recreational beer league, so it's fun.
Did you say kickball?
Yes, I did say kickball.
It is organized sport down
here.
Yeah. Kickball.
All right.
And what are you drinking? I want some of that.
right, George started early.
All right, George. Thank you for calling in, man. We appreciate the call.
Have a good day.
I think that kind of sums it up for today.
Yeah, I think that sums it up. That was a crazy call.
At least we got somebody laughing this morning.
That was probably one of the most interesting calls we had in. So
what are you puffing on?
I don't know. What that guy Minnesota?
Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights. I don't know, man.
Well, anyways,
Well, I know we got a little off topic there, but it is getting close to game time. We want to wrap this up. I want to thank y'all for tuning in this week. This episode 14, putting up them double digits. This is your boy Juice,
Adolf,
and Big Manny.
Thank you for watching. Stay classy, Minnesota.
Hey.
Thank you for watching the Sports Cave on #Champs.
#Champs is a Twisted Curve production.